So today let us start with the next unit, that is JDBC. Yes, the acronym for JDBC is Java Database Connectivity. Okay, Java Database Connectivity, which helps us to connect to Java program, from Java program to the database. Okay, so JDBC is an API, application program interface. Okay, so which helps us to connect from Java applications to the database. Okay, so here let us go through the definition first. The JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity, is an API to connect and to execute the query with the database. Fine. It is a part of a Java SE, that is Java Standard Edition. So JDBC API uses to some related drivers, which are JDBC drivers, to connect with the database. Okay. So here we have mentioned, so Java SE. Okay, so which is nothing but Java Standard Edition. Okay, so the next one is, so for the different versions of Java we do have Java YAMI, that is Micro Edition, and the next one is Java Enterprise Edition. Okay, so the JDBC is an API, acronym for the JDBC is an Java Database Connectivity, which was as a part of Java SE. So as a part of Java, we do have a different versions based on which type of products you are developing. So that is nothing but, first one is Java Standard Edition. In short, you can say it as Java SE. Okay, that is Standard Edition. Next comes Java YAMI, that is, in some words you can say it as Java Micro Edition, and some scenario it will be like Java Mobile Edition. Okay, then next one is Java EE, that is Java Enterprise Edition. So basic Java what we are using, so right now, so the basic concepts from Java have been come from your Java SE. So your JDBC is also a part of your Java SE, which can be considered as a part of your Java Standard Edition. Okay, then comes Java Micro or Mobile Edition. So this is the version of Java which will be helpful for development of your mobile applications. Okay, for example, the Android is the best example for your Java YAMI, that is Mobile Edition or Micro Edition, you can say it as. Then it comes Java Enterprise Applications. The name itself indicates that enterprise means what? It's the business. Fine. So Java Business Edition, or the Java program which will help us to develop a business edition or the enterprise edition, that is named as Java EE. There are some applications which required very strongness in its nature. Fine. In other sense you can say it as a robust, or in some case it should be very secured, so that you are accessing a password protected pages, or some kind of authentication of pages is required to access those applications. So in that case the security is required, the robustness is required, the reliability is required, so some kind of a business applications. So in that case it is helpful to use Java EE, that is Enterprise Edition. So your banking applications are mostly built on your Java EE, that is Enterprise Edition, so which is another part of your Java version. So your JDBC is a part of Java SE. Okay, and this JDBC uses a kind of what you can say the drivers they particularly developed. So in the next session we will go through what you mean by drivers, what are the different type of JDBC drivers, what are the applications and disapplications of that, advantages and disadvantages of that particular JDBC that you can go through. Okay, so then the next thing is the JDBC API to access the tabular stored data stored in a relational database by the help of JDBC API. So here using the JDBC, it is not getting restricted to any particular kind of a databases or the relational databases, you can say it as. Fine. So you can go for the MySQL, you can go for the Oracle, you can go for the Sybase. There are different type of what you can say the relational databases existing in the market. Using JDBC you can communicate through any kind of the database, so it is not restricting to any particular what you can say, the database or the schema, you can say it as. Okay, so any relational database which is stored in a tabular data, obviously, so that can be accessed using your JDBC program. So we are not restricting you for any particular database using JDBC. There are different type of, there are lot many relational databases are in connected with. Okay, by the help of JDBC API, we can save the data, fine, you can update the data, you can delete the data, and you can even fetch the data from that particular database, everything. So whatever transaction you wanted to communicate from that particular database, you can perform using the JDBC. Yes, you can save the data if you want, you can delete the data, you can update the data, fine, and then you can fetch the value from that particular data using that particular database. So your JDBC is an API which will help from Java application to database or any RDBMS, you can say that, the relational database management system. So in that case, so Java program to that database, you need to have one kind of a bridge which will communicate from one side to another side. So that bridge is nothing but your JDBC API. Fine. Okay. Then it is like a open database connectivity, and next one is the open database connectivity provided by the Microsoft. This is the older version or the previously used, what you can say, the database connectivity or the API which serves the same purposes, but it has its own, what you can say, the disadvantages. Okay, ODBC, that is open database connectivity, is also an API which serves the same purpose as that of your JDBC, but only the thing is there are some what you can say, the disadvantages of the ODBC. Because of that, Java had developed its own API to communicate from a Java program to the RDBMS or any database, you can say it as. Okay, so before JDBC, ODBC was there in a picture. Then it comes to the general information regarding the JDBC. The current version of a JDBC is 4.3. Right now what we are using is a stable version of a JDBC which has the version of what you can say, the 4.3 is the latest version. So fine. And there are many what you can say, the add-ons we are going to add to that particular, as a patch to that particular version. And the main part is java.sql package. The java.sql package contains the classes and interfaces for the JDBC API. See here, for example, in Java we do have many type of packages. Okay, so java.net is there for network related information. See, the network related classes and interfaces are there in a java.net package. Okay, then we do have a java.io which is related to java.input and output. Fine. So related classes and interfaces have been clubbed and they kept it together as a part of your java.io. You will be having java.util, fine, for the utility purpose. If you want to access the date and time and any other purposes, you can go for the java.util. Okay, so then it comes java.sql. So SQL statements, if you wanted to do any what you can say, the related transactions related to your SQL, so the classes and the interfaces related to that SQL queries is being clubbed and kept together in case of your java.sql package. So your JDBC, the related classes and information are also there in case of your java.sql package. So suppose if you wanted to access any, what you can say, the interface, fine, the any kind of a packages or any kind of a classes, methods, if you want to access from the JDBC, first you need to import java.sql package. So first you are going to import the java.sql package, then all the classes and interfaces are available for your program, then you can access those packages and interfaces. Okay, so before JDBC, just now we discussed ODBC API was the database API to connect and execute the query with the database. Okay, so before JDBC, ODBC was there in a picture. ODBC, the acronym for the ODBC is Open Database Connectivity. Fine, so which was developed by Microsoft. The ODBC was developed by the Microsoft. Okay, so there are some queries, there are some, what you can say, the disadvantages from your ODBC was that. So it was developed on a C language. The ODBC driver were developed on a C language, and which is not secured compared to your Java. Okay, that is secured, but compared to Java it is not so secured, and as well as it is a platform dependent. The C language is platform dependent. So each and every platform you need to create, or you need to provide a different type of drivers or something. So in that case, it is one kind of a problem they are facing as a part of a developer, or whenever they need to communicate from the Java application to the database. In that case, they have the Java is being developed that particular JDBC API, so which was completely developed on Java. As we know, the part of Java is a platform independent, so you can use it on Mac OS also, you can use it on Microsoft, you can use it on any other type of OS or any other version, so which is a platform independent. So your JDBC is also in a platform independent. We are not going to restrict to any kind of a platform. So these are the applications which you can say it as over the ODBC, okay, so which is written in a C language, which is not so secured compared to your Java language. And the second one is it is platform dependent. So your JDBC is secured and also it is platform independent. So Java has developed this particular API. Okay, so we can use this JDBC API to handle the database using the Java program and can perform the following activities. Yes, you can communicate from the one Java program as a one part and the database or relational database as an another part. So your JDBC API connects from this part to that part. So it is acting as an bridge, you can say it as. Okay, so using which you can connect to the database, execute queries and update the statements to the database, find and retrieve the results. That was the final objective. You wanted to retrieve the results from that, so that you are going to receive it through some of the interfaces. So right till now we are just talking about the API, JDBC API, ODBC API. What is that API is? Okay, so API is, as you are already aware of, it is an application programming interface, is a document that contains a description of all the features of a product or the software. It represents the classes and interfaces of that software program can follow to communicate with each other. An API can be created for applications or libraries or OSs can be developed. Okay, what is that API? That is, in general, we are talking about the application program interface. It is like what you can say is a document that contains a description about that particular product. See, for example, it is working as an, it is acting as an what you can say the manual for some product. See, whenever you are going to buy a product, let it be television, TV, let it be any mobile phone, let it be any electronic gadgets, or let it be any kind of a software, along with that software you are going to come up with, you are going to get one kind of a manual. In that particular manual, they have listed all the what you can say the information related to that particular product. So how to use, okay, like a manual, they are given all the information regarding that particular product. So that is what your API is consisting of, one classes and interfaces that represents as a part of a document how to use that particular API. So your JDBC is an API which includes the classes and interfaces to how to communicate from a program to the that particular what you can say the DBMS. That is what the API in general. What is API? This is what it is. Okay, so now these are the basic steps in using the JDBC. Fine. So what you can say, we are not going to restrict you for any kind of a database that we have already discussed. It is not restricted to any kind of a database. Only MySQL, no. Only SQL, no. Only Oracle, no. So everything you can from JDBC API, okay, using these JDBC drivers you can communicate to any type of databases. Fine. So these are the what you can say the steps mentioned below here are nothing but how to establish a connection from your application to the database. Okay, that database can be anything from application to database. These are the basic steps listed over here to communicate from the application to the database. Okay, we will go through it one by one in detail. The first one is load the JDBC driver. Load the JDBC driver. Second one is define the connection URL. Third one is establish the connection, create the statement object. Then it comes execute a query or update. Then process the results. Then close the connection. Okay, the first part is load of a driver. First you need to load the driver, JDBC driver. Okay, then you need to establish the connection, execute the connection or the establish the connection, you can say it as. Then you are going to create a statement, then fetch the result, fine, then store it in the result set or something that we will discuss in the next part, then close the connection. So these are the basic steps they have finalized, they have listed to communicate from an application using JDBC from application to any type of databases, you can say it as. Then it comes, okay, so we will start with the first step, that is load the JDBC driver. Okay. The driver is the piece of a software that knows how to talk to the actual database server. To load the driver, all you need to do this is to an appropriate class with a static block which what you can say, the initializes itself automatically and makes a driver instance and registers with the JDBC driver. So here there are some questions comes in your mind saying that, okay, so how to load the driver? Okay, so how to load the driver? So in that case, first one is, how do you load the class without making an instance? And I'm not knowing the what you can say, I don't know the name of that particular class using which I can instantiate the object. So both the answers for both the questions is using the class dot form name. It is and what you can say, a static block which initializes itself. Okay, static block means what? In case of your Java standard edition or in case of your regular Java, static blocks or static means it has its integrated what you can say, the value, which is nothing but no need to initialize that block. Okay, if you are not declaring it with the static, means you need to create the instance of that class, and then using that instance you are accessing that particular methods which comes under that class or something. So if it comes under the static block, means no need to create an instance and no need to create an object of that. Using that you can access the database or something. Okay, in that case the class.forName is a static block which initializes itself and creates a driver instance and registers it with the JDBC driver. So to do so, we do have a class.forName method which was an inbuilt method from the JDBC API to load the driver and to instantiate the driver and register that driver in a JDBC API. This all been what you can say, the work has been done by only one particular class method called class.forName. This loads the driver. To load the driver, we do have class.forName method. Then it comes the what you can say, the requirements. Okay, so the method takes a string representing a fully qualified class name. Okay, one that includes a package name and loads the corresponding class, and this call could throw a class not found exception, so should be inside the try catch block. Okay, of course, so we are loading the class. Okay, we are loading the class. It is a best practice if it is working properly. If everything is fine, then no need to surround it with the try catch block, but there are all possibilities are there, so which may throw an exception is nothing but your class not found exception. If that there is some problem with loading the class, there is some problem with the registering the driver or something, in that particular aspect, that particular code may throw an exception which is related to that particular exception. So that is class not found exception. So in that case, this also can throw in a class not found exception if there are any difficulties in loading this particular this thing. So in that case, which may throw a class not found exception. So it is better you surround it with the try catch block so that that exception can be handled very easily. Then it comes, okay, this is an example for that. So how you can load the what you can say, the classes, the drivers using the class.forName. So I have surrounded with the try catch block. Yes, you can observe here try catch block, and which may throw class not found exception, and I am handling that exception using try catch block. You can observe there class.forName connect, and that is the driver name. So you can use the Microsoft driver, you can use the Oracle driver, you can use the Sybase driver, you can use the any kind of a driver or any kind of a database you can register using the JDBC API. Okay, so using any type of what you can say, the databases, you can communicate from application or Java application to that particular database. That is what is the beauty of your JDBC. Yes, JDBC driver which is on the client, obviously translate the calls written in the Java programming language into the specific format required by the server. Okay, so this approach means that you have obtained a JDBC driver specific to the database you are using. So here, as we know, so there are different type of formats which have been registered for the different type of databases. So what your JDBC does, it runs on a client machine, okay, and before it communicates, it translates that data to the server, what you can say, the related format, okay, or in the format which is required by the server. Or that call, the JDBC call is getting translated into the server specific format, then it is going to approach to that particular database. So that is how your JDBC is communicating with the different type of databases. Then define connection URL. So the first part or the first step is loading the driver that has been done using the class.forName. Then second step is define the connection URL. So here, once you have loaded the JDBC driver, you need to specify the location of the database server. So for example, whenever you are posting a letter, okay, whenever you are sending a letter to some person who is at the remote place, let us take for example, fine. So you have to clearly mention the place, the area, the pin code number and the proper name and his mobile number, whichever relevant data it is required, you are going to properly mention from and to and the matter, and that will go to that particular person. Yes or no? So that is how that scenario works. So without address or without this thing, so the anonymous name or the address or something, it is very difficult to reach that particular address. So in that case, this is also same in that format, the defining the connection URL. See, suppose for example in the RDBMS or in any type of databases, we do have a different type of schemas and the tables mentioned. Okay, so you are communicating with which type of a database and which table you wanted to access, which value you wanted to fetch from which table and all, everything needs to be clearly mentioned in that address. So that, so suppose for example 100 tables are there, means I wanted to access the 65th table. So address and accessibility, what you can say, the authentication to access that table, that you need to pass as a part of your connection. So that is being done by your, what you can say, the second step, define the connection URL. So, okay, so once the JDBC driver is loaded using the class.forName, you need to specify the location of that database server. URL referring the databases, use the JDBC protocol and have the what you can say, the server host, okay, the host of the server and the port of the server, the database name of the server for the reference. Then all needs to be embedded, and as a part of, what you can say, the argument, it is passed as an URL. Okay, then exact format will be defined for the documentation purpose. So that is nothing but, so here you can go through. First they have mentioned the host of that particular database, then database name they have mentioned, if it is, yes, it is required, then port number they have mentioned for that database. For example, I am taking 1234. So string, what is that? This is the actual, what you can say, the connection URL. So where they are passing the what you can say, the database name, then as a host, then the port number, then the database name, everything clearly they need to mention to which schema or to which database and the which table and from which row they are fetching the value. Okay, so at least not row and column, not up to that level, at least the table which you wanted to access, the complete information to that particular database need to be mentioned as a part of your connection. Okay, the first step is you are loading the driver, then defining the connection URL is done. Then third one is, okay, I am done with the mentioning the URL, the address, port number and the name of that database, everything I have finalized and put it in what you can say, the connection URL. Then I need to establish the connection. This actually communicate with your database. This is the stage where your Java application actually communicates with the connection with the database. So here to make an actual network connection, pass the URL database, that is username is required, password is required. If it is mentioned as a password protected this thing, and to access that database you are going to mention what you can say the username and password to access that database. See, in the next session or in further classes we will go through with the example where clearly we are mentioning how your URL can be passed and the username and password and the port number, how you are passing as an argument to or this thing as a parameter to that connection URL. Okay, so here in the establishment of this connection, the username and the password are mentioned, and how you are going to communicate is using with the get connection method. This is a built-in method to communicate or to get connected with the application from your database. Okay, the get connection method which comes from your driver manager class. Okay, we will go through what you mean by driver manager class. Okay, then connection interface, result set interface, then what you can say the statement interface. There are different type of interfaces and classes which have been mentioned in a java.sql package for this purpose. Okay, so from the driver manager class we do have a method called get connection method which will help us to establish the connection from your application to database. Okay, fine. And get connection method may also throw an SQL exception because there might be some problem again which may throw an exception which is related to the connection part. Okay, so in that case even it is better you surround that particular connection part with the try catch block. Okay, then you can go through the what you can say the example we have taken. So the username they have mentioned, then the password they have mentioned, then in a connection, so in this connection this thing, so driver manager class get connection is the method, and I am passing that URL along with the username and password as a parameter to the that connection value. So that is nothing how you are going to establish the connection from that particular this thing. So okay, this is my URL. The URL includes the complete information regarding that what you can say the port number, name of the database, everything comes under this URL. Okay, if it is the local host on which machine you are running, everything comes under this URL, and username and password to access that database we are passing as a parameter to the connection string. Okay, I have loaded the class, the connection URL has been defined, then I have established the connection to the database. Okay, and then next step is to what you can say the execute the SQL queries. Okay, simply you cannot execute the SQL queries directly in case of your JDBC. To execute the SQL queries means what? For example, insert a table create a table, insert a values into the table so called. Okay, then delete the values from the so called table, and you are doing some manipulations to that. Fine. Okay, so here in creator statements means to execute those SQL queries directly you cannot pass. Okay, create a table employee. This SQL statement you need to pass in a statement interface, and that statement interface on behalf of that query it is going to execute and commit some results in a database. That is how it works. So what is this create a statement? Okay, so create a statement or a statement object is used to send queries and commands to the database and created from the connection as follows. Okay, this is what is the example how they have created a statement. So this create a statement or a statement creation is because to execute a SQL queries. Okay, so that SQL query is as a query you are passing it to the statement interface, and once you execute or create a statement, so it executes that query by default. Okay, so here they have taken an example. So that is statement is an interface, and that segment is an object. You can create it whatever you want. Then connection dot create a statement is the method to create that particular what you can say this status, or to execute the SQL queries we will go for this create statement. Then execute a query. Once you have a statement object, you can use it to send SQL queries by using the executable execute query method which returns the object of result set. Okay, So in that only we do have a method in the connections interface only, execute query method, which executes that query and returns the result as a part of result set object. So here you can come across the different type. One is connection interface, one is statement interface, one is result set interface to store the results or something. So that is how it communicates from one what you can say the table to another. So here execute query, which actually executes the query and fetches the value and gets the result from that database in the form of result set object. Okay, you can go through this. String, one query they have taken, select column 1, column 2, column 3 for example from some table they have taken for example. Okay, so you can observe here result set, this is an object. Okay, statement, execute query, which actually executes and get the output as a part of this query we are passing as an argument here, executes and results will be stored in this result set object. So this is how you are going to communicate from the database and you are going to fetch the value from that database in a result set object. Yes, obviously the next part is process the results. Okay, so here the simplest way to handle the results is to process them one row at a time using the result sets next method to move through the table row at a time. See, suppose for example result set is an interface where you do find a different type of methods to access that database. In what format you wanted your output, fine, and what are the different type of what you can say the result sets. Okay, there are different types, the scrollable, non-scrollable. Okay, there are different methods to access the results from that result set table. Okay, so here result set dot next method is what you can say is acting as a pointer which will help us to access the results one by one. Suppose for example we have a fetched result in a result set table for 100 lines or something. So I wanted to access the results one by one, means results dot next method which is acting as a pointer which points to the next element to be accessed in that result set table. So that is how it works. So within a row result set provides a various get XXX methods that takes a column index or the column name as a part of argument and create the results in a variety of different Java types. Okay. So that is how even in case of your result set we do have a different getter and setter methods to get the value or to set the value or something, so that can be accessed in a result set value. So get XXX method means, so the get int, get string, okay, get float, there are different type of methods to access the value. So here is one simple code snippet we have mentioned. Okay, the while result set dot next. Next means what? It is acting as a pointer which points to a next element to be accessed from that result set table. Then system dot out dot println results dot get string of 1. So get string means the output will be in the form of string. For that it is get string, that is the column name, first column, first row, second row, third row, and it is getting the output in the form of string. Okay, then after processing the results we do find close connection. So the close connection is explicitly you would do the okay, you have to mention, then the URL the code snippet is method is connection dot close. Okay, this particular close method will close the connection from the application to your database. Okay, what is the first step? Load the driver using class.forName. We are going to load the driver, then define the connection URL. In that connection URL you are going to mention what is the port number, database name, okay, then the what you can say different related information you are going to mention. Then you are going to execute that connection, okay, using execute the connection, that is using the third step. Then it comes the fourth step, you are going to create a statement object and you are passing the SQL queries as a part of that statement to execute those SQL queries. Okay, after execution the results will be come in the form of result set table. In the result set table it provides some type of methods to access that particular result set from that particular table. That is nothing but you are processing the results. After this at last you can close the connection from the database. These are the some what you can say the mentioned steps to be followed to communicate from the application to your database. Okay, then here we do have a list of popular interfaces, okay, and the classes you can say it as, it also includes the driver manager class, okay, that have been listed for this particular purposes, which are the main, in other sense, these are the what you can say, the main interfaces which will help us to communicate from Java program to your application. Okay, first one is driver interface, then connection interface, then statement interface. In this statement interface, broadly we do have two types. One is prepared statement, then one is callable statement. Then result set interface and result set metadata, you are going to get the information related to the result set using this particular interface. Okay, then row set interface, that also comes under the result set only. Okay, the driver interface we will discuss. First we do have a driver interface for the loading of the driver, for the registration of the driver or something, that interface will be helpful, or else you can say it as driver manager class. Then it comes after the loading the driver, the connection interface, which connection, establishing the connection, closing the connection, all the related methods comes under this connection interface. Then it comes after the connection, we need to execute the statement. So for that we do have to execute the SQL queries, we do have statement interface. Then it comes the broadly classified the two categories, with one is prepared statement and one is callable statement. Okay, the prepared statement is for the pre-compilation of the statements before executing, and the callable statement we are what you can say, we are accessing the stored procedures to get the results using the callable statement. For that it is interface has been mentioned as a part of your statement interface. Then after execution of the query, so we are looking for the results. So this is where our results is getting stored, that is result set interface. We do have a different type of methods and all. Then result set metadata related to the information of this result set interface and all. So this is how these are the main, what you can say, the API, JDBC API, the popular interfaces have been listed. Okay. Then next comes the driver manager class. Okay. What is driver manager class? So your class.forName method, which comes under the very first step of your communicating from application to your database. So where your class.forName method, which comes from this driver manager class. Okay, the driver manager class acts as an interface between user and the driver. Okay, I repeat, the driver manager class acts as an interface between user and the drivers. It keeps the track of drivers that are available and handles establishing a connection between a database and the appropriate driver. Okay, so this driver manager class is acting as an interface or an intermediator between a user and the driver, okay, which keeps track of the driver, okay, which is the registered driver, which is the available driver, how many drivers what you can say are available for the connection purpose. Okay, then appropriate database, whether it is appropriate or not. Then driver manager class maintains a list of driver classes that is have registered themselves by calling a driver manager dot register driver method or something. The related information, okay, and related methods which comes under this driver manager class have been listed over this class. Okay, the broadly we are used the registration of a driver, deregistration of a driver, then the connection string, how to get connected with, then with the parameterized connection, get connection string, then also the appropriate driver available to handle the establishment of a connection between those two parties, that can be analyzed using the driver manager class. Okay, the first one is public static void register driver. Void static means you are not creating any instance to access this register driver method. Okay, as a part of this thing, it is taking a driver as an interface. It used to register the given driver with the driver manager class. So this driver interface will help us to register the driver to this driver manager class. Okay, then the public static void deregister driver, so which you wanted to deregister from that list, so you can use this deregister driver method, so which is used to deregister the given driver, drop the driver from the list with the driver manager class. Okay, then public static connection get connection method, string or URL, just now we discussed, it is used to establish the connection with the specified URL, that also comes under the your what you can say the driver manager class. Then public static connection get connection string, so here it is just a URL, if it requires a username and password, so it also comes with the what you can say the different format. So the same method with the different format, that is differs with the parameters what you are passing. So here it is only the URL what you are passing, so here it is the string URL and username and password also we are specifying as a part of what you can say the parameters to that particular connection method. So basically driver manager is the class and which help us to maintain a driver, and it gives the available of driver which are there for the connection purposes. Then to register, to deregister, we are using the driver interface to do the same what you can say the work from the driver manager class. This is how the related information regarding the driver manager can be fetched. Then comes second sorry, next one is connection interface. The driver manager class or the driver interface has been done. Then second one is the connection interface. A connection is the session between the Java application and the database. Okay, this is acting as a session when connection will be alive, when you are communicating with it with the database, connection must be on. Okay, after the what you can say the completion of your work or something, you can close the connection. So this is how it's a session which is acting between from what you can say the Java application and the database. Okay, the connection interface is a factory of a statement, prepare statement and database metadata. Fine. Object connection, object of connection can be used to get the object of a statement and the metadata database metadata. The connection interface provides many methods for transaction management like commit and rollback or something. So here we have mentioned some of the methods from the connection interface. First one is public statement, create a statement, okay, which creates a statement object that can be used to execute the SQL queries. So as we have already know, you cannot execute the SQL query directly. You have to pass that query as a parameter to the statement interface, and you need to execute the statement interface. Then on behalf of that, your SQL query get executed, and you can get the value as a part of a result set in form of your queries. Okay. So here the create a statement method which creates a statement object that can be used to execute the SQL queries. That is the one method. Then it comes public statement, create a statement with the parameterize this thing. So result set type. Okay, this we will discuss in the next session. What are the different type of results that you are going to get? The scrollable, okay, non-scrollable, the sensitive, non-sensitive. There are different type of result sets. The type you are going to mention here. Then result set concurrency, that also can be mentioned over the as a part of a parameter to this method. That is different version of a create statement. Okay. Then public void set auto commit. The boolean status, you can observe the boolean means it will be either in the form of true or in the form of false. It is used to set the commit status. By default it is true. Okay, so whether that commit has been successfully done or no, that value, that is true or false or either 1 or 0, that value will, boolean value will be returned using the set auto commit method. Then comes public void commit. What it does, it saves the changes made since the previous commit. Okay, so I have doing some editing, what you can say, doing this some updation or something to that particular database or table. So I have saved that value and I need to commit that what you can say the save. So for that explicitly I'm going to use what you can say the commit method, which saves the changes made by the user or edit by the user or update by the user, that will be saved using this particular commit method. Then it comes the rollback, which is the reverse of your commit method, which drops the changes made since the previous commit. So which is the previous saved value that only remains. Okay, whatever the new updation will be there from the user, that will be discarded using the rollback. This rollback is acting as an opposite this thing to your commit method. So commit, it saves, it discards. Fine. Okay. Then it comes public void close, which explicitly closes the connection and releases the JDBC resources immediately. Okay. So connection means what? You are accessing the resources from the JDBC. This close method, it closes the collection and also it releases the resources of a JDBC immediately. So this all comes under your connection interface. So first one is the driver interface, or which comes under the as a part of your driver manager class. Fine. Then next comes is your connection interface, okay, which are the related methods. Then it comes after the connection statement interface. Okay, the statement interface provides methods to execute queries with the databases. The statement interface is a factory of a result set, that is, it provides a factory method to get the object of a result set. See here, we are done with the driver manager class, then we are done with the connection, then it comes a part of your execution. We do have a statement interface. This we already know, the statement interface, which will help us to execute a SQL queries, and it has an factory of a result set, means it provides an object to access the results from the, what you can say, the result set table. Okay, these are the mentioned methods for your what you can say, the statement interface. So first one is public result set execute query. Okay, execute query, which is accepting a SQL or in the form of string. It is used to execute the select query and returns the object as a part of result set. Execute query, which executes the statement, which executes the SQL statement and get the result set object in the result set table. So wherever you need to specify in that format. Then execute update, it is also accepting an SQL in the form of query in the form of string. It is used to execute a specified query. It may create a drop, insert, update, delete, etc. So whatever you are doing, so it is been executed by your execute query, but it is better to use execute update. It executes as well as it saves or it updates the values in case of your execute update. So you can use the create for that purpose, drop, insert, update, delete. All these SQL queries you can execute using the execute update, so that you can get the updated value and the the values will be saved in that database. Okay. So then it comes public boolean execute. Okay, it's a simple execute method. It is used to execute the queries that may return a multiple results. Okay, that may return a multiple results. Then it comes public int. It's an array they have taken. Execute a batch. It is used to execute a batch of commands. Okay, so this execute batch method, whenever we do have a lot many SQL queries need to be executed at a one stretch. Okay, so in that case, it is not a good practice to execute it one by one. Instead of that, you can execute this batch so that all those 100 statements will execute at a one stretch. So that is nothing but your execute batch will work for. Okay, we will brief about. So this is about your prepared statement interface. Then in the next session, we will go with the example how your statement executes. So here, as a part of statement interface, we do have different parts which have been mentioned clearly. So as a part of statement interface, broadly we do have prepared statement interface. Okay, then next one is callable statement interface. Okay, so this statement interface, as we know, we are going to use the execute the SQL queries. Okay, so broadly, based on the application purpose and based on the different type of scenarios, we have broadly classified. Again, there are different type of what you can say the statements, this thing. So broadly, we do have prepared statement interface and the callable statement interface. So prepared statement interface is used to is going to prepare the statement before it going to execute, or it compiles it and keep it ready. And the callable statements will be helpful to access the stored procedures. So some values we have stored, some functionalities have been we have inserted in the stored procedures. As a part of input, we are giving using the callable statement to that stored procedure. That function will work, and we are going to fetch the value using the callable statement. So this statement, how it works. So these are the different two versions of your statement interface. So one is prepared statement and one is callable statement. Okay, so the prepared statement, you can just go through. If you are going to execute a similar SQL statements multiple times, using the parameterized or prepared statements can be more efficient than executing a raw query each time. Okay, the idea is to create a parameterized statements in a standard form that is to be sent to the database compilation before actually being used. Okay. In the next class, we will analyze how your prepared statement will work, and we'll go through the examples how it works. Thank you.